Okay. It's Talitha, right?
Yes, Talitha.
A beautiful name. Where did you get that?
Thank you. It's from the Bible. It means little girl.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, every name has a story, right? Like your character.
Yeah.
So, so tell me, how did you come across this project? Why were you attracted to it?
Okay, so when I first auditioned, I didn't read the script because I didn't want to get attached. And then when I got a callback, of course I would read the script, so I was familiarized with the character and everything. And the reason I was attracted to it is because it's so unique from every other project. I feel like there's nothing like this. I mean, there might be somewhere else, but I've never read anything like it. So, of course, I was amazed by the writing, and Gary did a great job to adapt the book, and the book is just phenomenal. And I loved the idea of this little girl not knowing who she is, and she's so determined to find out who her father is, who her grandparents are, everything. She goes on this adventure to find out who she is as a human being. So I thought that was really cool about it.
So you said you read the book?
Yes.
How many times? Just curious.
I read the book once, but I read the script, 3 times probably.
And which was better for you?
Neither was better. They're so similar because the script is an adaptation to the book. So they're very similar, but I did love the book because there was more to tell in it. There were more characters, and you kind of get more attached because there were more scenes. It was bigger in general because you can't make a whole entire movie. I feel like it would just be too long.
Absolutely. Now, was it tough to act between both actresses who were playing some kind of handicap, one with agoraphobia and the other one with autism?
Not really, because they did such a good job that I felt like I was Heidi. That was how it was supposed to be. You know, she's grown up with them there as, like you said, Bernie has agoraphobia and one has autism. So when they were doing that to get into their zone and they were just doing it naturally, it was easy for me to adapt as Heidi because I was also being Heidi. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, I do. Do you feel that their performance is so elevated that that you had to step up a little bit further?
No, not at all. Because when I had already booked this, I didn't know who the mom was going to be, so I was already stepping up my game. I always try to be the best I can be. I've never really tried to step up my game for anybody else. I don't know, because I like to get lost into character. So if I'm never as good as I could be, it's because I'm not being the character.
Yeah. This movie, basically in 3 acts, you essentially had to display all these different types of emotions. I mean, how did you manage to accomplish that? I mean, you being so young yourself.
With different layers, there were some scenes where I had to break down, and with this character, it was actually very easy for me because I completely understood Heidi. I knew where she was coming from. I knew why she would cry. I knew why she would yell. Even though sometimes I actually also didn't agree with Heidi, I understood why she would be upset. It was like Heidi had her own little part in my mind that I would just tap into when I started filming it.
So you could throw a temper tantrum on cue and cry on cue?
I don't know if I would call it on cue because it's not like something I can just do, like bring it. I have to understand the character and I have to be able to become that person. You know, because some people say they can cry on command, and that's cool. But I can't really cry on command. Like right now, if you told me to cry, I'd be like, why would I be crying? Why would I be, you know? I wouldn't be able to be like, ah. I have to understand the character and where she is coming from, or, yeah, that's why. I was going to say or ye, but I would never play a male character, I don't think.
You never know. Your career's still young, right? So, what do you suppose was the funnest thing you had to do on this project?
Thing I do. There was one scene where I go to grab my Grammy sweater, and when in the rehearsal I jumped over this chair, and then Steven really liked that I jumped over the chair, so I did it again and again and again, and I just did it on every take. That was really fun for me because I got to jump over the chair, and then in other scenes he liked that Heidi would just jump up on things, so he had me jump over some toys and jump over different stuff, and we didn't use all the takes, but it was really fun.
Hey, describe the apartment. Was that actually a built set, or was that actually...
That was a built set, and that was incredible how they did it. I saw it when it was first being done, and at first it just, it looked like it was being made, how everything does, and they would just start painting it, and that was really cool seeing how it completely flipped with all the books. I saw the set built at in like the middle. I saw how it was gonna be. It was completely built and painted, and then when I saw all the furniture come in, that was like a whole new thing. All the books stacked up. It's exactly how I pictured from the books, from the book, which was incredible.
Wow. What about the bus scene? Did you actually have to do the actual travel, or it was just...
Sometimes I did in the school scene at the very end of the movie. In that scene where we were on the bus, we did go around a few times around the block in different areas. And then in other scenes, they had this big black tent, this big black tarp, go on top of the bus. I was in, of course, Luchman, so it would look like it was night when we were filming. So they would put, they had this little light that they would go by, like cars were driving by, and it was so hot. It was summer, so it was already hot, and then they had this big black tarp over the bus, and then we were sitting inside, and the windows weren't down, so we were like, Cloris and I had our own little personal fan, and we would just wave on each other in between shots.
One of my favorite scenes is when you were on the bus with the cat lady.
Oh, yeah.
And you're all talking about Shirley Temple. Do you know who Shirley Temple is?
Yeah, of course I know who Shirley Temple is. I love her. She's amazing with her little curls and her ringlets. I watched, what is it, the one where she sings about the candy? I don't know the song. My da-da-da, where she's on the bus and she's falling back and she's eating chocolate and she gets tired and she gets a tummy ache. Do you see that one? I was little when I saw it, so I don't remember it, but she's so cute. She's got that little baby face.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
That was a great scene.
And the little princess.
Yeah, that was.
She did an amazing job in that.
Right.
She was so good.
So, sounds like you had a lot of fun in this film. Was there anything difficult? I thought everything was difficult for you.
Of course, there was this one scene that was pretty hard, where I'm supposed to be by the phone booth and I'm calling Bernie. Do you remember that one where I'm crying?
Yeah.
That one, we did a few takes, and it was kind of hard because there were people actually outside. We were actually on the phone booth on the street. So that was hard because people were walking by, like looking at me while I'm filming, and that's hard to get into character. But I tried to just picture that people would naturally be doing that anyway, So that was kind of hard because there were a ton of people on the street and there were cars driving by in between the takes, and so that was a little hard for me to fully get into character as Heidi. That one was probably the hardest one I was at.
I'm amazed you actually found a phone booth.
I know, that was kind of hard. I actually don't know if that was a real phone booth. I don't know if they put it there.
Right.
Because there aren't a lot of phone booths here in LA.
I know, and your character played the slots and all this kind of stuff. They
actually found real slots for that.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. And we did travel. What am I thinking? We did travel, and some of the shots you see where it's like my profile and there's the outside. It was the last day of filming. There was like nobody. They only brought a few people from crew, like grips and stuff, and of course the director and the DP. And we drove, I think it was like 3 hours there and 3 hours back. We drove 3 hours to the casino and 3 hours back, and we just did shots in between of the sun going down until it was night. And then it was my idea to put like a sweater on me, not the sweater, but the jean jacket.
Yeah. I
put it over me like I would be sleeping. So we did a few shots like that, and then we did a few, which you'll see in the film too, where they were driving by in a Jeep and the camera was in the car and they were watching me through the window. They did a few like that too.
Was it fun to, because in a few scenes you had to really dress up as an adult? I mean, was that kind of awkward, or was it that kind of cool?
That was kind of cool, yeah. It wasn't really awkward because the dress fit me pretty nicely, but that was fun because me as Talitha, I'm kind of a tomboy, so we don't dress up myself, but I would never wear this in real life, but since I'm out and about, I should probably be wearing more dresses. So that was fun because I wore a dress and I had like dark lipstick and big sunglasses, and that was cool because Bernie also wore the dress earlier in the movie. If you saw that when she's holding Heidi,
Yeah.
that was really cool. I liked that they changed that to where I take Bernie's dress later.
How did you like working with the director, Gyllenhaal? I mean, how was he on set? How did he direct it to you?
He always had the best ideas, whereas I would have pretty good ideas sometimes too about Heidi and what I was going to do in a scene, and he would come at me with a different idea from a completely different angle that I never thought of, where it would just make the scene way better. And the shots the DP did, they were unbelievable. And he had a one-on-one time with me where we just read the script, and I think that really helped me as an actress, because at first I was just going to go into it and do my best, and I did. But he gave me whole different ideas of who Heidi was and why she was feeling like this, and who also Jessica was, because we all three did it. Bernie, Jessica, I call her Bernie, Alfred, Jessica, and I were sitting at a table and we all did it together, and it really helped us, I think, helped me understand where they were coming from and what their characters were like. And that was really interesting to see them just be them for a whole entire day.
On this project alone, you get to work with really amazing actresses. Who do you figure was the best that you always wanted to work with out of all of them?
With these actors and actresses, I knew who they were beforehand, but every day when I go on set, I would be Heidi. So I don't think there was a best actor per se, because all their characters are so diverse. All the characters are very diverse and very different people, so I could never say any of them were better than the other ones.
Yeah.
But they were all incredible actors and actresses, and working with Alfred, she's unbelievable.
And just out of curiosity, I've seen you in a couple movies, like was it The Fifth Wave and The Hive?
Yeah.
So, what kind of projects do you like to choose?
I really like to do more serious stuff, although comedy is fun. Like, I did 9 Lives. That was a lot of fun. Everybody was super goofy on that set. And that's one you can kind of get away with almost as a break, I feel like, because it's so much fun. It's not like as So Be It, where it's very emotional and you have to be very serious all day. On 9 Lives, you can just be completely goofy and then still just tap into character. It's super easy. But what I like to do more is probably more serious films like So Be It and Hive was cool.
Okay, terrific. And let me wrap it up with one last question with you. All right, I'm going to give you a tough one.
Okay.
Tell me your best road trip story.
Road trip story. I have a lot of road trip stories because when I was younger, we went from Turlock, Modesto, to all the way to Colorado. We drove. We didn't fly or anything. So that was a lot of fun. And we stopped by the sign that said Colorado. And on the way, we kept on stopping for snacks because we like to eat a lot in my family. So we stopped by for chips on the way, and since we have 9 in our family, it was a whole van. We had a whole van, like in So Be It, and we went all the way to Colorado. And I remember my older brother being in his little car seat, and I would like pull out his curls. I remember that.
Terrific. Hey, awesome. Hey, thank you for this conversation. It's very pleasurable. Thank you.